Alrighty, how's it going, everyone? I'm Zach, half of a podcast host, and this is
Lucas,
and
the other half of a podcast host.
whom I'm cutting off today, apparently. And welcome to the Fridge Podcast, episode 5, where all your gaming news and discussion is kept tight, cold, and fresh. Today we're talking about a handful of things, but first, I am playing Dark Souls 2 still. I'm also still playing StarCraft. I have not actually played StarCraft in a couple months. I keep missing Tuesdays due to life happenings, but I'll try to get back on that next week. And then, just so all you fans out there know, I'm starting every other Thursday. So on our off weeks for the Fridge Podcast, I'll be starting open world Thursdays, meaning I'll be playing open world games, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and all that stuff. So that's what I'm playing. What are you playing?
Well, I just recently got an HTC Vive, so I've been diving deep into that VR. And tried out Subnautica today, and oh my god, it is terrifying.
Yeah, I would imagine deep sea diving in VR. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So first topic of discussion today: Darkest Dungeon. For those of you that don't know what Darkest Dungeon is, it's a team roguelike. Could you call it?
You could call it a roguelite. Maybe a roguelite.
Roguelite, yeah. So you build a team of 4 people, and then you have to go and explore these dungeons and try to complete quests that are all leading to one main big quest, and it's a huge thing. If your people die, they're dead for good. It takes no prisoners sort of style. It is. You have to manage resources and light. You have to make sure that your people don't go insane and all this stuff. If they get diseases, you can treat them. It's very in-depth and hard, but it's a huge blast, and they're getting new DLC coming June 19th. It's the Color of Madness DLC. You want to talk about it a little bit?
So we have a new region for this one. We have the boss of it, which is the Miller, and his workmen are the enemies. Honestly, we don't know much about what's going to be in this update. We know there's going to be 4 Hamlet houses, and there's going to be a jeweler that only deals in a special currency.
Yeah. So we don't really know what the buildings are going to be, but what do you want to see?
Oof. I would love to see some way to further customize your heroes, because as of right now it's a really linear progression for equipment and armor. Maybe a way to upgrade your trinkets would be cool.
Trinkets would be nice. I know you can upgrade the abilities, but maybe a prestige tier of each class would be cool. And obviously it's not going to come with this one because they haven't said that it is, but maybe they're putting in a building that would, 1, do something else, and 2, suffice to do that as well in the future. Because I think taking the classes and giving them like a prestige class, like the I don't remember the names of the classes. The dude with the witch doctor mask.
Plague Doctor.
Plague Doctor. See, so close. Yeah. I'm just terrible, and my mind sucks. But the Plague Doctor, giving him a prestige class that would focus more on poison, or you could, like a split, or you could focus more on the healing aspect. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that's it for pretty much that. We've got some more Overwatch news to talk about. Overwatch has a Mercy skin supporting breast cancer research funds that you can get now in Overwatch. It actually looks pretty good.
Yep. Keep in mind that when I say the price, you are donating and getting the skin as a bonus.
Correct.
It costs $15.
Correct. Yeah, this is not something that you can just obtain. You do have to donate. But again, it supports breast cancer research funds. So not only do you get a pretty cool looking skin, but you also get you help out in an area that needs to be helped.
And also, along with this, they have chosen a few streamers to be promoters of this.
Yes, and I believe Cupcake is one of them.
Yep, Cupcake is one of them. But any bits that they receive, any donations that they receive, go to this as well. And they, the more you watch, you could get drops for in-game, which are unique sprays and
correct, yeah,
stuff like that.
So
Twitch emotes.
Go find out who those people are. Cupcake again is one of them. Go watch them. Go support that. It's a great cause, great people. And I actually know a couple people who have gone through it and survived and fought back, and so just being able to help out with it is super cool. So yeah, let's move on to a slightly less important but more content ridden. I don't know. Yeah. It has more to talk about than just go do it. Nintendo Switch Online. That is a Nintendo service. So you have on the Wii U, you have the ability to play old games, old NES and SNES games. Well, you can now do that on the Switch for a price. It's $19.99 for a year, or you can do 1 month at $3.79 or 3 months at $7.99. So obviously the $19.99 will be better for you, cheaper. However, it's starting off with only 20 NES games, and it is also turning multiplayer games that are currently free. You must now have Nintendo Switch Online. So games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon, and Splatoon 2 and ARMS and various others, pretty much all Nintendo games that you can play online will be paid for. If you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online, you will have to get them to play those games, which sucks because some of those games you can only play online. So if you don't have it, that game is now useless to you.
Yeah, that sucks, honestly.
Yeah.
And I would like to see before launch them beef up their library, because 20 to start out with is not good.
Correct. And I don't know if it will change, but we only actually know 10 of those so far. The ones we know are Ice Climber, Legend of Zelda, Balloon Fight, Soccer, Tennis, Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Bros 3, and Donkey Kong.
So what I'm wondering is what happens to the virtual console that they had?
Let's see.
Because that had all of their old games before. Like, you could get a bunch of games.
Right. I don't know what's going to happen to that.
I wonder if it's just going to kind of mesh together and you have to pay for it.
Right. That's a possibility, but I don't see that happening. I think the virtual console is gone. I think it dies. I think that's what happens.
Yeah, probably.
Now, do keep in mind to play those 20, the 10 of which we know now, those 20, you have to continue to have the Nintendo Switch Online. Once you drop it, it's gone. It's not like Xbox Live Gold, games with gold. If you have games with gold, you get them forever. With this, once you lose the Nintendo Switch Online, you lose those games. And that is coming out in September of this year. So you have a couple months left to play those games for free, those online games for free, and then you'll have to start paying for them. Let's see, there is... So, I'm reading a Polygon article, and it says Nintendo says that you will have to check out either its website or the Switch eShop or the game's packaging to see if a Nintendo Switch Online subscription is required, but Nintendo's own games will require the service to get online multiplayer. So, Nintendo's games will require it. However, third-party games might not. But you'll still have to check and make sure.
That's a really weird one.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, even if it does require, or even if there is multiplayer, it won't require Nintendo Switch Online. Meaning that they have programmed these into their games and the console itself.
It really makes me wonder on how quickly it will take, or how long it will take for someone to find a way around that.
Right. Or how long it will take them to shut it down. Because that's a huge possibility. I don't think it will last very long if they don't do it correctly, which they, already not doing it correctly. If they wanted to do a paid online service, they should have implemented it when Switch launched. Instead of giving us this time to play these games for free without and then introducing it.
Yeah.
It's like it would be like, hey, Netflix, you can watch all these shows for free. A year later, all right, we're going to start charging you.
Yeah, that's... If they didn't do it retroactively to the games, I think it would be pretty good, but...
Yeah, and the price isn't bad, but it's the way they're going about it.
Yeah.
That kind of screws it all up.
But I mean, like, compared to Xbox Live Gold, Xbox Live is like $7 a month now.
Yeah.
So that's a good price.
Right. Yeah, it's a good price. Xbox Live Gold is expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next topic. Let's go ahead and talk about PUBG for a second. PlayerUnknown Battleground. Yeah, they're getting people arrested. In China, and more to come. They found a group of 15 hackers who are creating and distributing hacking software and hacking programs and just hacks themselves to people, and are increasing the amount of the availability for hacking PUBG. They tracked them down, and then they got them arrested and are fining them millions of dollars. Mainly because, so PUBG has from the beginning been very against hacking. They've been, even if it doesn't seem like it, in game, they've had a very offensive stance towards hacking. They've been actively pursuing hackers and cutting them out and all that. And they were just now seeing sort of big repercussions for it. Not only were these hackers creating the software to do this, they were also putting in secondary effects of the software that enabled them to steal people's information, and thus their identities and their bank account and all that stuff. So they have been fined. The 15 people in total are fined $5.1 million. So split that up between the 15. That's still a good chunk of money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're also facing jail charges.
I mean, I don't think that they got arrested because of hacking PUBG. I think it's more of a problem of they were stealing people's information.
Right. Yeah.
Because if it was just PUBG, I don't think that any authorities would go after them. Maybe a DMCA takedown or something if it used any of PUBG's original code. But it's a really hard thing to pin down.
Yeah. And they're not done. They have said, again, reading Polygon article, have said, we'll continue to crack down on hacking, cheating programs, and their creators until our players are free to battle it out in a totally fair environment. And cheating's just been on the rise. Like, there's been more and more hackers and cheaters in PUBG in the last like month. Then, I mean, it just continues to grow. And so the fact that they're actively seeking this out, I don't know if it's the best. I mean, obviously it needs to be handled, but publishing and like putting it in the news maybe isn't the best of ways. Maybe if they went about it a little more secretly, like continued the fierce approach that they have towards it. But there's something about putting in the news that people go, oh, that's 5 minutes of fame right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting here talking about it now, and so even if we don't know who those people are, those 15 people are talking about this. And so, I don't know, it might perpetuate it more, but I think PUBG's doing a good thing about going after him.
PUBG uses BattleEye, which, as I recall, I think Arma uses that as well. So that's a pretty big name anti-cheat software. So maybe BattleEye needs to step up their game a bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Because people are finding their way around it.
Yeah. In other 100-man battle royale news, Thanos is in Fortnite. There's a crossover event happening. You can be Thanos. You can make him dab or dance. Yeah.
I don't know how they got him.
I don't, dude. That's some serious talks right there. Some huge talks.
Like, I doubt that Fortnite went to Marvel and was like, hey guys, we have a crazy idea.
Yeah, who knows?
Like, it had to be the other way around.
It's
Marvel.
all on the up and up. Like, it's crazy.
Right?
I mean, it would, yeah, it'd have to be the other way around. And, I don't know, Thanos kind of just fits in that world.
Yeah.
He just kind of fits. Like, in that cartoon style, animated world, he just fits. Alright, let's move on. Let's talk about the biggest bad of them all. EA. EA has been the center of so much crap over the years. And here they are again. Lawmakers have called on them to discontinue loot boxes, saying it is gambling. And EA says, no. EA says, we're not going to stop. There's no way that this is gambling. We're going to continue loot boxes in our games. And, oh boy. I don't appreciate it, EA. The fact that they are actively continuing and pushing for more loot boxes in their games, or just keeping loot boxes in their games. One, it's a money grab. Huge money grab. That's all it is. Two, they're going to lose fans faster and faster the more they do this. And eventually, we are going to see the loss of EA. EA will disappear.
But have you seen EA's sales numbers?
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
It's something like
Stop buying loot boxes, people. Just stop it.
Okay, so they made like around 150 million from selling their games. They made like 3 times that amount by selling loot boxes.
Right.
That is insane. Like, how do you even do that?
I don't know. So, EA's backup for why they're not gambling. Reading Engadget article, CEO Andrew Wilson has said that because you're guaranteed a certain amount of items with each purchase, and EA doesn't facilitate a way to sell the items for real-world money, it's not gambling. So you're guaranteed a certain amount of items, and there's no way to turn those items into money. It's not gambling.
No, but
That is his
if
argument.
you implement a sort of rarity, a market will form, no matter what. Because even if it's just arbitrary, something will be assigned value, no matter what.
Right.
You could look at CSGO skins. What determines the value of a CSGO skin?
It's rarity. However, there's a way to trade CSGO skins.
Yes.
If there is no way to trade, then you can't really put... I'm not defending EA, but I will play devil's advocate. If you can't trade, there's no way to transfer money other than that to the company to get the loot box.
There's no way to transfer money, but there still would be a value associated with that.
To a degree.
Even if it's arbitrary.
But the value is what you pay for it. So the value of everything is that, that set amount that you pay for it. So something that's rare or legendary is the same amount as something that is common.
Mm-hmm.
You just so happen to get a legendary. Again, because there's no way to trade or to sell. There's no way to put a value on something.
Yes, but I feel like in my personal experience, whenever, like, when we were playing Mass Effect 2, or Mass Effect 3 multiplayer,
Right.
I would get a weapon in a loot box, which, hey, loot box, way back then. I would get a weapon and it would be a legendary, and I would compare it to another legendary and be like, this one is better. This one is worth more to me. Like,
Cool.
If I was able to get rid of this one, I would.
Correct. To you as a gamer,
Yeah.
it is worth more. However, to other gamers, that fact that someone else has it means nothing. They don't
It
go,
depends how popular it is, I guess.
bro, let me get that. I'll buy it off of you. There's no way.
I will say, when I was playing with some of my other friends, the first weapon I got was the Black Widow, which was the legendary.
It's a weapon. It's a nice weapon.
So their immediate response was, I want that.
Correct, but
It's rare, I want it.
so I guess what I'm getting at is there's no way to give it to them.
Yeah.
So they're not actively trying to get it from you. They could be the I want that was that of a jealousy, not of a
Fair.
actual, give it to me sort of sense.
But yeah.
So there is a value to it, but not a monetary value.
Yes.
And as long as there is not a monetary value, then there is no gambling. However, EA, you keep fucking up, knock it off. Just stop it with the stupid loot boxes. Because pay to win is BS. If you're doing competitive. If it's like Mass Effect 3. Again, Mass Effect 3, great job.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't competitive. It was cooperative.
There was a way to earn them legitimately.
There was a way to earn them
you
legitimately.
had to grind a little bit, but I didn't mind that.
That's fine. If you're doing competitive and it's pay to win, that's BS. Think about the little guy, EA. Come on now. So what do you think about loot boxes? Should they continue or should they fade into the past?
I think that it depends on what is included. Honestly, a lot of people bring up Overwatch loot boxes as, this evil thing, but honestly, I think that Overwatch does it the best. They're purely cosmetic. You earn them pretty frequently. You could complete challenges.
Really frequently.
Weekly, you get 3 of them for just playing the game.
In which, once you hit those 3, that's a 4th. You're going to level up by the time you hit those 3.
Yeah, pretty much. But
So that's 4 a week, guaranteed.
I feel like that's a good one. But when you start making it so that it influences the game, like Mass Effect, if I wanted to fully upgrade that Black Widow, I could dump a lot of money into it and just open up loot box after loot box after loot box, hoping I would get it.
Right.
But that's a single player. And then you have multiplayer games that also influence gameplay, like Call of Duty.
Chance.
Mm-hmm. So you could get a Call of Duty loot box that has a legendary weapon and wreck everyone.
Right. And I do believe you're on the absolute right path here. If there is no gameplay change, if there is no chance at improving your odds at victory, loot boxes are totally fine. I appreciate the Overwatch loot boxes because I enjoy the costumes. I don't spend any of my real money on them, so it doesn't matter to me. I enjoy the costumes. I enjoy the voice lines, but as soon as there is an increase in odd to win, that's when it becomes a problem.
Where do single player games that influence balance, like Shadow of War, where do they fit in that?
Shadow of War has loot boxes?
It does.
I had no idea. Single player, that's up to you. If you want to increase your chance to win through loot boxes on single player, totally fine. If it affects other people's chances to win.
Question: what if they go mobile game status on this, where it's almost impossible to win without loot boxes?
That is the day I stopped playing video games. For real, that is the day I stopped playing video games.
Because there was, when Shadow of War first came out, there was a backlash about that, where there was a difference in difficulty, a noticeable difference in difficulty, at least for early to mid game. Mid to late, it didn't really matter, but
again, that's only single player, right?
It's only single player.
And you can get those, so you can get, because I had no idea Shadow of War had loot boxes.
Yeah.
Can you open them without buying?
Honestly, I don't know.
And that's another thing. If you have loot boxes, don't make them to where you can't open it without buying things. Just let them be opened for free. If they're buying the loot box, don't make them buy a key. CSGO, I'm looking at you. Don't make them buy a key. If you give them the loot boxes as like a reward or something, just let them open them. Don't make them buy something else to open them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge money grab and huge annoyance, and honestly, your rewards aren't even good enough to be purchased. CSGO, I'm again looking directly at you. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all we can talk about for loot boxes.
Yep, pretty
Which
much.
brings us into our closing segment, which is Pick 3. This is a new segment I'm going to introduce today, and every other week, every time we do this, I'm going to tell him and I to pick 3 of our favorite or whatever things in gaming, and we're going to have to think of them on the spot. I have a slight advantage because I will know what I'm saying. But he's going to have to pick them on the spot.
A slight advantage.
Just a slight. Him and any guests we have will have to think of them on the spot. And so, this week, we're going to talk about our top 3 cosmetic outfits in Overwatch.
Oof.
Yep.
Man, that's a hard one to...
I'm also going to try and tie it back to things we talked about in the week. So, since we talked about loot boxes.
That's a really hard one.
It's a very difficult one.
Because there are so many.
There's so many.
First of all, the Reaper Dracula skin is probably one of my favorites for Reaper, at least. Just, yep. I mean, look at that.
It looks good. He looks good. I'd have to go with the Reaper, the Reaper Shiver skin. Because I think it looks awesome. So that's one of my top 3.
Then I'd probably go Symmetra, the dragon skin, because that one is beautiful.
Symmetra Dragon?
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. Dude, that she looks awesome. One of my favorites is the Tracer Christmas skin.
The Jingle, I think it's
Yeah.
called.
Just because Tracer, I enjoy playing Tracer, and she's one of my favorite characters. I don't play her a lot, but she's just fun to play, and her voice lines change a little bit when she's wearing the skin, and I love Christmas, so.
Oh, Roadhog Butcher.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
a big fan of Diablo, so
Diablo is such a good game.
like, oh,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
it looks awesome.
It's one of the only Roadhog skins that I actually like.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good skin. The top 3 off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to go with gosh.
Hanzo.
We'll just type it in.
No.
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, the Nutcracker.
It's the Nutcracker skin for Zenyatta. Again, Christmas, and just he looks great. He looks great.
I really wish I would have gotten this one. 'Cause,
I'm sure you can purchase it with the coins.
yeah, once the
Yeah.
thing is over.
That's another thing
it's
that
over.
Overwatch does well. It gives you coins to purchase the skins that you haven't gotten.
Oh god.
And it gives you the coins in loot boxes.
Honorable mention, Mary. That's my May skin.
Yep. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
All right. That's our first take 3. Pick 3, top 3. I don't know what I'm calling it.
Whatever.
And I think that's it for this podcast. Same question I've asked you a couple weeks in a row now. Have you started streaming yet?
No, I have not.
All right, make Slob stream again, guys. Get that hashtag going. Let's go. There's already one hit on it.
Oh, was it yours?
Yep, it's mine.
Okay.
There'll be another one today.
Okay.
Every week. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow for what is it? Survival Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bye.